So, I wanted to take a second today as the Silent or World of Silence Game Master and Dungeon Master, which I don't usually show my face often on these videos, but I am here. And I wanted to talk for a second. So, what you're seeing right now on the up on the screen is about my three sections of the World of Silencia, which are in total about 1,401 pages, or somewhere like around 15 million words, word count. This is a big book. WorldAnvil. Why are you so bad? So, to demonstrate my issues with this, because I did this video a moment ago, but I accidentally showed some like my email, which I didn't want this to be on the email to be on there, but like to kind of show you guys what the new issue is. So here's what this looks like on the new UI, which I like the design. Your programmers at WorldAnvil really need to focus on something else. As a writer, and what I assume this is what this is supposed to be designed to design worlds for multiple RPGs and make our own books. First off, the fact that I can't print from WorldAnvil to make a book based on all my articles or like a section of folders to basically turn it into a PDF as a book format, waste of potential for value right there. Secondly, the fact that your system does not, when you copy and paste over into like Google Docs or Word, it is clunky and does not copy and paste right, is terrible as a writer. Thirdly, these extra features that you keep adding, I don't know, I mean, there might be game masters out there that are using them, but as someone who pays for the like top game master rank in this, I personally find this to be a piece of crap. And I don't use that word to be rude or offensive. I use it in the literal sense. Your writing team, or your coding team, or whoever's in charge of the design of this, does not seem to have a full understanding of what they want to do with this product. Whatever alignment your company is going through, or realignment is what kind of seems to be screwing it. And this is coming from a guy who's currently in the middle of building his own company, building his own app product, and all that. As a writer and a game master, I use WorldAnvil as a system to store documents and have campaigns. I don't have anything for like loading monsters in, which is something you guys could be working on, fixing your stat block system, creating an encounter system, yada yada. Instead of doing these UI updates that I don't see anyone using, at least. Like, I don't see the little, like, icons people are clicking on the maps and finding crap. Hell, I can't even understand half that crap, and I'm not a programmer. I don't pay for WorldAnvil because I want to be a programmer. I pay for it because it's like SharePoint, but easier and more organized. Like, my players can use this and look up information that I've written in bite-sized pieces rather than having to go through 1,400 plus pages of book information that I've written up. But as a writer, I come in here to update and edit things, and this not only is UI constantly changing, so I'm having to relearn how things work, which is infuriating as a customer, especially when I'm paying $100 a year to use your system. And you're not working on anything that is actually helping me as a game master. In fact, you're actually more annoying me because of the fact that my folders keep getting reorganized from the orders they were in. I can't now. If I want to move folders around, I have to go in here manually, click this, and then I have to, like, hopefully drag these guys around, like, trying to click them. But if I click on their name, it takes me suddenly to them. Like, this UI system is ugly. This is bad. It needs to go back to the old system where it was like, cool, here's a pull down of a big box where I can write all my stuff in. Like, I am not a programmer. I'm a game master. I want to be able to write a document, not code. And, like, trying to organize these folders, especially when they're unresponsive, is flippin' annoying because they'll move out and move back. So unfortunately, I didn't capture the mistake I had earlier, which annoyed me when I was trying to create a folder for professions. And basically, I had to pull it out and then move adventures away. Or like continents. I made this, right? I want this to be at the top. Well, suddenly now it's working. Fantastic, of course. But as you can see, I got kind of finicky with it. Do all that. This is just not fun. I like the old system where I could just drag and drop off to the side. It was much easier to organize. I could move my folders in their order. Now I have to go into here. UI upon UI upon UI. I don't want to have to keep going into menus to fix things. Also, if I want to organize something that's like, say, not organized like down here, I can't just click it and drag it. No, I have to go in here, click these three buttons, move to, go in here, find the folder, look for it in here, which earlier, if you, by the way, if you edit one of these folders, this disappears until you refresh. So if I change something in here, and then like decide to go down and move something around, I have to then refresh to get it to come back in. So, but then I gotta click this, and then finally I can hit move, and then finally it's gone. And again, I'm still stuck with this ugly looking interface where I'm seeing these numbers. It looks like I'm programming. And as someone who doesn't program, or if you're intimidated by coding, this is not something as a writer I would want to pick up. As someone who uses WorldAnvil, I honestly would not recommend this if you don't understand their UI, or you don't basically, because you have to take a class, basically use half their crap, which I think is totally worthless. Like, I don't want half your features. I don't think most people want these features. I want a storage system that I can easily use, I can easily edit inside, and I can provide to my players with some cool stuff, and then I want to be able to print it like a book once I'm done. Can't do any of that. I can't transfer it, I can't print it. I have to go in every damn article, copy and paste it manually over into something else. Why? And then don't get me started on the stat block system. Like, their timeline systems are worthless. The maps are kind of cool with what they say you can do. You have to be somewhat of a coding person or watch one of their videos to learn how to do it, which I think pretty much shows how, if you're going to make a product for people to buy, you shouldn't have to take a class or watch a video how to use it. Like, it's not a gun. You're not learning to play basketball. Like, it's supposed to be somewhere where I can go on as a game master and build my game. Why do I have to learn how to code just to use your product? The only thing I can say that I like about what they have is their campaign system. It's still my favorite because like the plots and the sessions are awesome for how they let you track it and everything, as well as like giving your parties like information that they would need to know for sessions, stuff like that, or what they might know, and then like keeping track of like supporting NPCs, which is awesome, other parties that might pop up or split up in case you have like one shots and such. Like, I like everything they've done beyond outside of the ugly UI they did to the article world. Looks good. Like, this stuff helps. I don't want to take courses though. I think that's the fact that they have to put this up there is exactly the limitation that is creating the product. I think if I was in their shoes, and this is, again, if you're listening to this WorldAnvil, which I will like do a hashtag for them or whatever, I'm old, tag them, to kind of point this out, I would cut back from the idea of focusing on UI. Stop trying to add these cool features about like little buttons you can click, because again, people lag, people don't have the computers to keep up with this crap, or they have the wrong browser and it won't even work. Like, it's not helpful. And instead make it easier for game masters to come on here and make their books, use monsters, create sessions, whatever. Like, there's still not an encounter system in this, which I think is one of the dumbest things that WorldAnvil still hasn't done, because most tabletop game systems have encounter systems. The stat block system is garbage. Like, it is doo-doo butter. Whoever came up with it needs to be fired, because the fact that the people who are paying for this have to make everything just shows how bad it is. Like, why you guys don't have set standards, or like 90% of the free content that is available, you could be having your programmers doing that, than whatever visual pyramid of the Egypt dream they seem to have for this product that no one seems to be wanting. And again, I don't like that I have to watch a video for every single thing to learn how it works. This has more tutorials than a fucking video game. I have to go through less SOP, standard operating procedures, in my day-to-day job as a finance analyst in clinical research, where I deal with the FDA, the CDC, and multiple international government agencies, than I do to use WorldAnvil. Like, it's that bad. And it's just so disappointing, because it's a cool product, and it could easily blow D&D Beyond out of the water because of the fact that they're not limited to D&D as their only product. But it seems like no one cares. Like, they just don't. They seem to have this idea of, I just want something that can, like, I want a map that I can click on. Then make a map fucking website and go do it there. Stop trying to put it into WorldAnvil, which, in my mindset, is supposed to be an actual book. like creator of a book. I have yet to see a single feature on how I can make any of my articles look like a book. I tried to find out how to even download my articles. You can't do that. I'm paying $100 a year for this, and I can't do that. So yeah, this, like I said, the new system is doo-doo butter. If you are thinking about using WorldAnvil, if you are thinking about continuing your subscription, I'd cancel it. I'm kind of at that point where it's like, y'all kind of suck, and this is just, you don't seem to have any interest in fixing or becoming better. Like, it seems like they got corporatized. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too harsh, but yeah. So my big complaint is still how bad the articles are, how this whole system works. I haven't even tried to create a new article. I'm afraid to because of how disgusting this looks. Like, I don't, and I know you can click the old world system, but I shouldn't have to, and like at all. And B, it should be preset. If I like, there should be a button that should just say, a quick click on that. I can update that so I don't have to look at this, because, again, it's just bad. Like, this is ugly. I don't like any of this. I do like that there's the table of contents. That's cool. I don't know how any of this stuff works. And again, I don't know why I would want to use it. So, like, also the fact that there is a word count limit. Oh no, it's a count goal. Okay, cool. That's less of a complaint. All right, cool. I didn't know that. But yeah, so like I said, if the biggest annoyance, and I think as a writer, if you want to go through and like come back and reorganize all your stuff, you're gonna have to sit here and do basically what I'm doing right now. Every time you want to make an update or move folders around, if you want to make a new folder, you have to kind of pay attention to all your stuff. And again, putting these things in order, as you can see. So I've been with WorldAnvil since God, maybe 2024. It might be a little bit. I think it's been a little bit longer. Anyways, and I liked their AI when I started, their UI when I started. I loved the system. I thought it was brilliant. Great idea. I am so disappointed because even now when I look at this, after moving my continents up earlier, once again, they're still down here. And then you can see, this is what I was talking about earlier. I can't fucking grab the fucking articles. So I just wanted to put this out there that if you are a big fan of mine, or you're a player of mine, you're wondering, why is Royce angry when December comes around? Because we are coming back to our campaigns. Or if you're WorldAnvil, I was going to do a bunch of updates in November. I was going to shout out the product. I was going to show off all the stuff we were adding to kind of push our world out into the public, and try to start marketing this while I was working on my company. If you don't fix it, WorldAnvil, I don't think I want to associate with the company, because I just think that you don't seem to have the same, what I thought was the same mission in mind for the company of making this a better product for game masters as a whole, rather than, well, your game master specifically, who seems to understand how all this works and has a programming degree, which maybe that's the issue. Maybe they should have a warning label that says, hey, if you don't have a coding degree, just walk away. You're not going to understand any of this crap. Because I tried watching one of their tutorial videos and could not grasp half of how the world my maps worked. I'm still confused. So, like, nothing against them. They're trying, but I just feel like this is a waste of a product. And I feel like if they don't do something, shoot, if I get my other business up that I'm working on, I might come in as a competitor at this point and just, beat them at their own game, because this is shoddy. Like, I know I could pay 2 programmers 6 months work. I bet they'd have this a better version of this done and working. Like, It might be a small team. Maybe, again, like I said, maybe I'm like just shitting on a small company. If that's the case, I apologize. But really, I hope you listen to this more as a critique, and understand that as a writer, I'm only frustrated because I like your product and I want to support it, because it was cool. But I cannot stand if I'm just going to continue to have to fight the product to use it. I don't want to use it. Like, yeah. So, um, that's kind of my critique. I kind of wanted to show this off. Also, because I kind of wanted to talk about the fact that, as someone who has a 1 million word count book that he's still working on, unfortunately, yes, we are still working on it. I know I haven't made any updates. To note, Part B started out at 500 pages. I deleted like 100 of them. I also removed the entire index, and we're still cresting like 700 pages. This is not a small project, and so I've been busy and I've been slammed as we've been kind of working on things. You guys can't see it on this one, but like as another example here, let me insert a table of contents thingy. I can't remember. Let me see if I can figure out what it is. There's the way to do it. I forget. You can tell how often I've been working on this. Is it tab? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh, God, I can never remember how to do these things. So I don't, we've been using this, not insert link. I just want to put a table of indexing. Jesus criminy. There we go, table of contents. All right, fantastic. Let's just do there. So this is going to load real quick. But just to give you another idea, this has 85 pages on top of that, so that we've worked up. This is all stuff I've custom wrote. Like, none of this is copy and paste. All homemade lore. If I'm going to put all this into a system, I want it to work. And I don't want to have to fight it. Like, that would be annoying. And yeah, so I think, honestly, my last critique, I promise this is the last thing. If I was going to go and give a final comment to WorldAnvil outside of like the things of the UI, which again, it might be just me, maybe as a game master, maybe I'm being picky here. And because I'm a writer, I want it to be like this when this is designed for a different audience and focus, on audience rather than myself. But if you wanted to, while publication may not be your goal because there's a bunch of probably red tape to go into book publishing, this could easily become a system where you can offer publishers to come in and be like, yes, look at the systems we have that have been like confirmed, like some sort of thing they have to turn on once their book is done or their world is done, and then that can be submitted to basically as a book to publishers that pay an annual fee to WorldAnvil to get access to these new writers, and then be able to reach out and let them know, hey, we're interested in potentially publishing your world as a book. Would you be interested in working with us? That would be a massive revenue stream for WorldAnvil, and B, I think would be huge to the fans and do something that no other game website does, which is, because WorldAnvil being designed for the game masters, not for the players in a sense, it would allow us a place that we could be encouraged to write our own books, to build our own worlds, to design this stuff, and make it able to be played only on WorldAnvil, which is another big thing that WorldAnvil could value or come to value with as a revenue stream compared to like D&D Beyond as an example, or like Pathfinder, because now it's all available on this website. They get rights to a percentage of whatever they have signed on when you go to publish your book, maybe like 5 to 10%, whatever, as a finder's fee. And then on top of that, then they can work out deals better to make it so those systems are only exclusively available on their platform, which would be a big reason why, if with support, you wouldn't want to go to D&D Beyond, because if I can go on here, run stat blocks, run encounters, run everything else for any game system, including the latest new ones that some I've never even heard of and I want to explore with my friends, that is brilliant. And that's what your programmer should be working on. Integrating systems like that have already been published and that you can either get a deal to put on your website or to basically make available, because the idea of having integrated, if it's free you can just put it up, but like getting the stat blocks all preload, getting everything done so that the DM doesn't have to make that, and then a counter system that's designed for that system, that when you load up the campaign page, it's boom, it's right there. Brilliant, fantastic idea. Work on that. It doesn't have to be D&D focused. Like I said, it's like all games that you can get. And then again, the publication. As a writer, I come here for SharePoint. I come here for the fact that I can store this in bite size for my players and my audience. That's what we want to see on WorldAnvil. We do not want to have our writers and our creators fighting the system just to make it. And then I want to be able to take my stuff off here and look at it as a book. Like, if I could have a quick download as a book PDF where it just downloads every article and slightly formats it a little bit to clean it up based on what you've written, and then you can like choose different options, like it'll like, oh, you know, do you want your stuff to be like double paged, kind of like how D&D books do, where you'll have like half it running down one side, half running down basically the other of the same page with a split for the picture in there. If I could have that kind of thing as a formatting thing and all that, that would be cool UI features to add. That would be helpful. That would be awesome to have, because now I can download it. Even if there's a little watermark at the bottom of every page that says, brought to you by WorldAnvil. That's worth it to me, because that would be cool looking. I got all my bookmaking. Now I can present this as a good format to a publisher or a query master who would be interested in working with me to find a literary agent, basically. So that's kind of my whole complaint. I hope that you take that and kind of understand why I said this. This has been done without a script. I'm not, like I said, I already did this once, but I kind of felt bad because I showed an email I shouldn't have, which was mine, as well as my editor. So I didn't want him getting not editor for videos. I don't have an editor for that, but for the book. And so yeah, I hope you kind of take a moment, you take this as fully not to be rude criticism and understand where it's coming from, and hopefully we'll see something better, because like, yeah, I don't want to use your system, I'm gonna be honest, if this is going to be how it's gonna be. Like I said, there's benefits. This is cool, awesome that I can see everything, love this. I just don't like how unresponsive it is, and it feels like if it's going to be unresponsive, just remove the ability to drag and order, and instead put like a little note like thing that lets us put like what the weight is. Is this first, is this second, third, and just instead of calling it weight, just call it order. That way, as a writer who doesn't understand programming, I know, oh, this is the order this needs to go in. It doesn't matter if it literally is the same code, but the only difference is instead of weight, it says order. Like, again, I think just taking that away from the coding perspective and focusing on the audience and the actual people who are paying for this product. But yeah, so that's kind of my gripes, my complaints, and my thinking. So if you've watched all this, fantastic, and if not, well, hey, that's life, right? Otherwise, take care.